Go to our Instagram.
Okay, it's on. Welcome to podcast review. I'm your host Jorian with my other host Charbar, Charjar, Charzar, Zar, 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 Charles. What you up to, man? How you been?
Chilling, man. Chilling. I'm on my little off day right now from driving my semi truck and stuff. So,
Yeah,
so
this
I'm
audio
just sitting
sucks from
here.
your end. I don't know if it's these headphones or not, but it's bad.
Really? Okay.
We're just gonna have to just
I'm
make it
not.
through.
Hey, audio listeners and video listeners. I'm sorry, we don't have the correct microphones and stuff right now. So I'm
What are
sorry.
you gonna
I'm
do?
sorry.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
what are
get
you gonna
into
do?
this. Let's dive into it. You wanted to talk about The Last of Us. I know you
Hmm.
want to talk about Hogwarts. We can save that for later. And
Yeah.
then I think there's something else, but we'll figure it out. So as far as The Last of Us, I just have to get it off my chest, bro. Um, watching that show is like watching somebody play that game on easy mode, and it's gotten to
Hmm.
me. I just can't take it anymore. I get that Neil Druckmann was like, "Oh, I don't need a lot of action because you're not playing the game as much. You don't
Yeah.
have any of the responses or whatever." But to me, it's like
Hmm.
that was half of the fucking game was the battles and the fights and watching Joel like conquer half of the fucking United States. Where with this show, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, hey, I'm Joel. I'm here for the situation. All right, I'm gonna kill
Hmm.
one dude out of four dudes, and we're gonna just barely get away in the nick of time. I
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
fucking hate the show. It's like I want the action there. It's like they want to rip parts from the game, but not the good parts from the game. They
Uh huh.
missed with Bill's episode. It still drives me insane. They missed the most key moment to break television by taking the one scene where you hang upside down. They could have added that. It didn't have to be a 2 minute
Yeah.
scene. It could have been a 1 minute scene or anything. But all they had to do was have
Yeah.
the nigga flip upside down, shoot a couple zombies, and get out. And I get it. The way that they're doing the zombies now is that it's like a mega horde or some shit like that. But he could have fought two of them.
Hmm.
There could just be two stray ones that he got or something. But it's just like
Yeah. Yeah.
they missed the whole high school part. They missed the whole like going through the courtyard slash graveyard. That's the word. But I mean, and I get it because they
Hmm.
want to like make it a TV show. But I don't know. I just feel like they've ripped out half of the game just to make this like cutscene version of the game.
So
That's my argument. That's why I hate it.
yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from, and you're not the only one. Like you're 100% not the only one who feels like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's definitely aspects to where I agree with you too. Even in the Bill episode, like in my review, I was like, I feel like Bill and Frank, that that in itself to me was a 10-10. But
Hmm.
I think just as an episode as a whole, and from the taking the material from the video game and translating it, it was really just the Bill and Frank story instead of like the Bill, Ellie, and Joel, like that whole aspect of it, which is a big part in the video game. That's a
Exactly.
huge part. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So the Bill and Frank stuff I really liked. I really enjoyed. I thought it was really good the way that they did it. But at the end of the day, I couldn't give the episode as a whole a 10-10 just because we're missing so many key awesome moments from the video game, like you
Hmm.
said. And when before that episode came out, me and you were so hyped on it because critics were saying that it's one of the best episodes of television in a long time. So I was like, oh shit, we're gonna like see some crazy stuff. And then in the previews, they made it seem like Bill actually interacts with Joel and Ellie,
Hmm.
and that was really just really good editing. So we kind of got fucked on that side. But yeah, no, it was a bummer because me and you definitely thought that we were gonna at least see the Joel hanging upside down, killing the infected. We at least thought we were gonna see that. Like, how could you
Hmm.
not do that? That was a big moment in the video game. Um, so not being able to see that definitely was definitely not cool. I didn't like that, but um,
Let me go back to
I do.
continuing with my
Go ahead.
argument.
Yes.
Even in the episode, the 5 and 6, like we're supposed to be talking about, um,
Mhm.
in the episode where they're going underground to like hideaway or whatever. When they get to the children's spot, even that part in the game had a few infected. And I get that they
Yeah.
like again they tried this whole new directive to where if one of them finds you, they all find you kind of thing. But even with that, they could have even switched it to just have some hostile dude in there. Just some one leftover
Yeah.
hostile dude who doesn't, who is
Yeah.
not going to communicate with them and is just pinking at him the whole time they're in there or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't make TV shows, but sometimes when I see this stuff, it's just like y'all are just missing these like moments that I feel like really would draw in the show. And then when I'm watching the show, y'all do this thing where you like hold on a frame or something like that for almost just too long, and it's like I feel like a lot of the shows sometimes is just filler of that episode. Like, all right, cool, this is how the episode's supposed to play out, but we're just gonna fill the empty void or the 20 minutes with just
Mhm.
I can't believe we made it out of that. Me either.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so sick of that shit, and it's
Yeah.
maybe it's because I've been watching anime too, but I 100% see through like fillers. I see through like the character development. It's just like I don't know.
What do you
And
mean?
that's
What do
my
you mean
other
you
thing.
see through the character development?
That's what I meant to get to. Joel is a bitch. He's a bitch in this show, and I can't fucking take
Yeah.
it. I can't take
Yeah.
it. We don't want him to be the superhero. Nigga, that's what he was in the game. That's what we want. God damn it. Neil
Yeah.
Druckmann. Oh, I'm gonna kill my character in the second episode of the game right off fucking rip because I don't like the guy. Because I want to prove a point to you. And then when I make the TV show, I'm gonna keep that same motivation and anger going. There's no reason Joel should be old as shit.
He's old in the
Dude, you
game.
set me off. I'm so mad now. Oh my gosh. I gotta
Joel is
stop.
old in the game, bro.
He's old in the game,
Joel's
but he's
old in
a
the
fucking
game.
tyrant. He is not going.
Yeah.
He is not his reason for getting rid of Ellie in the game is completely different than in this TV show. I don't remember what his motive was in the game. I just don't think he wanted to do it. In the TV show, he literally goes, "I can't make it. I'm losing my hearing. I've gotten caught twice. I'm bleeding everywhere." It's like he's literally crying to his brother. That does not happen in the game. And I'll get you the game, the way that they like keep the action going is just by like a scene coming in and they have to fight their way through it. I'm sorry. Go ahead and talk, just Charles.
No.
I'm so
I
mad.
mean, you're. Nah, I think so. I think the difference between me and you is like that's like your favorite video game of all time. So this is like this is your favorite video game of all time. So you're like you are way more. You want to see the fucking game play out on how it's supposed to be, how it was written in the video game, and all that shit. So I don't blame you, especially when it's something that's like your favorite. Like your favorite, it's your favorite video game, right? And
I was at the
I'll get
midnight
real quick.
launch.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're at the midnight launch all the way back then. So to just deviate it real fast, like the Hulk is my favorite Marvel character, and that's why seeing him in the End Game and Infinity War fucking pisses me off so much because it's like he's one of the strongest characters in the comic book history, and you guys are making him out to be a fucking bitch. Like we don't even see the Hulk after he gets in a fight with Thanos. That's it. You don't see him again. Like how fucked up is that to do that to the Hulk? Like one of your strongest characters, pretty much.
And they teased him in the trailer too. They teased him in the trailer. They made it seem like it was going to be him running up, not the Hulk form or whatever, or not the Hulk Buster.
Exactly, and I'm over here thinking that's going to happen too, and waiting for that scene to happen the whole time. It's like no, now he's in an Iron Man suit, so they made him to be a complete bitch. Now so I totally understand where you're coming from because this is your favorite video game of all time. I do think I differentiate with you at some aspects just because I totally understand the video game. It's so hard to translate it into a TV show because The Last of Us, we spend so much time, we're just looting and kind of going through areas. And in a video game, you play a lot of infected and you fight against a lot of humans, and they're both very separate. The infected is awesome. Fighting against the infected is so cool. It's a very fucking video game scene. That's why fighting against infected is so video game. I think in this show they're taking and this is what I want you to compare it to. Compare it to The Walking Dead. Because compare the show to The Walking Dead, right? The Walking Dead, a big part of that show is really just showing you that humans are basically just as worse as the zombies. And like they can be just as bad when you run into humans. So I feel like The Last of Us and The Walking Dead are not that too far apart. But my thing is, The Last of Us just does everything 10 times better. The
And I'll
to
give you
me,
that.
to me, you mentioned something about like character building or the dialogue or something, and you're like, it's just not what I want it to be. To me,
Hmm.
when I'm watching the show, I'm comparing, like I'm thinking about The Walking Dead, how The Walking Dead will take literally a whole season to do with what they did with the lady's character in episode 5, the leader of the resistance.
Hmm.
In The Walking Dead, she would have been the villain. She would have been the governor for fucking 2 seasons. And in this show, they said, hey, we're going to give you 2 episodes. They essentially one, because the second episode was really just from Henry's view. And then kind of that's when they met up with Joel and everything happened. So I compare it to that and I'm like, oh, this is a master class of like adapting this and moving the story along. Because that's what you want, right? Like, do I want to see a fucking drawn out fucking 2 season long Last of Us? No, I don't. And remember when this came out, I asked you, I was like, are they going to even be able to fit the whole? I hate this lighting right now. Are they going to be able to
Yeah, me
fit
too.
the whole fucking season in fit the whole game in one season? I was like, I don't think they can, bro. I was like, I really don't. I was like, I don't think they can. But then when you really think about it, The Last of Us is really not that long of a game. The first one.
The
The
first
first
one's
one's
about
really not
10
that long.
hours. So
Yeah,
you can
the first
chunk out an
one,
hour an
yeah,
episode and make 10
yeah. The
episodes.
first one, straight up, the first one's really not that long.
Mm-mm.
The part 2, that's a long fucking video game. That's
And
a
even that is
different conversation.
unnecessarily long. Even with
Yeah,
that, they can
yeah,
cut that TV wise and make that a lot better. I agree.
yeah. Part 2 is ridiculously long. That's a conversation for a different day. But I really do. I think that it's hard to translate something like a video game to television or a movie, and I think that's why it's rarely ever done correctly. And there's a reason why you don't really see video games get that treatment because it's so hard to translate it over. And that's where I want to say, like with The Last of Us, because you got to think about it. This show has been gaining popularity the more episodes come out. So basically every episode that comes out, it's breaking the last week's viewership, which means they're getting more people who are into the show than just the gamers. So that in itself should tell you the writing and whatever they're doing is working because they're not trying to just get the gamers to like this shit. They're
Well, they
trying to
said
get
that the sales
the
for the game have
general
gone up.
audience.
The sales for the game have gone up a lot since the TV show came out. So, I mean, that's
Yeah,
true in its way. But I'm
for
also
sure.
thinking,
Yeah.
compare this show, video game adaptation to
Hmm.
the Assassin's Creed movie. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember how bad that was?
I didn't watch the movie. I didn't. And why are you even giving me that face? Like, you want me to watch a known bad movie? Why would I do that? Why would I go in and be like,
It's
oh,
for the
man, this is
culture,
bad?
Charles. You call yourself a
I
gamer,
don't.
but you're not going to see the gamer movies.
No. Not if they're bad. Not if they're bad. I don't want no part. I
But you're
want no
sure as
part.
fuck going to go see the Super Mario movie.
What? That movie's gonna be
Yeah,
awesome. Are you crazy?
the movie's going to be ass. It's got Chris Pratt. Come on, man.
For one, I think I know I'm not the only one with this, but I totally think Super Mario Bros. Is going to be the number one video game movie of all time. It's going to make the most money. It's going to hit $1 billion. I'm telling you, it's Mario. Come on.
The
Be
only
insane.
reason I can give you that is because there are 1 billion little children in the world, and
Yeah.
those children have parents. So that's the only reason I
Not
can give you
even
that.
children. Not even children. Are you crazy?
I'm not seeing it. I'm not
You're
going to that
telling me-
bullshit.
You
I'm not
tell me
paying
you
Chris
gonna sit
Pratt.
here- Hey, you're sitting here with a straight face and you're gonna tell me you don't want to go see the new Mario.
I'm
Bros.
bootlegging that bitch. I'm not watching that movie in the theater. I'm bootlegging that bitch.
You went to go watch Black Panther and Ant-Man in the theater. So you won't
Actually, Black Panther I
Super Mario
bootlegged.
Bros.
Black Panther was bootlegged
Okay.
in my
That's
experience.
fair. That's fair. You did
Ant-Man,
go watch
however,
Ant-Man, though.
I will say I liked Ant-Man. I don't think it was the worst movie ever.
Hey,
It's definitely not a good one.
We'll talk about that later. But let's not act like Super Mario Bros. Is going to be a terrible movie, and let's not act like adults don't want to go see that movie. That is easily my top 3 most anticipated movies.
Charles.
I can't wait to see it.
I think it's going to be a B movie. I think it's going to be a
I'm
B
gonna dress
movie.
up. I might have to dress up. Throw some
He said,
overalls.
I'm gonna dress
I might have
up.
to throw some overalls on. Go give me a little red hat. You know what I'm saying? Give me, do the beard, do some of my beard.
Hit up your
I
girl,
might, I
make her
might
dress
just have
like
to.
Peach.
I might,
She'd
I might
love
just have to
that.
do the whole thing. I might have to do the whole thing. I'm in there. I'm in there. But back to the Last of Us. Back to the Last of Us real quick. I
Okay.
definitely think all your points are valid. And do you want to? You kind of just want to like expand on it a little bit more and just kind of
Just
like
some
hit it
closing
home?
thoughts on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what was the point I was making?
Just like you're just not a fan of it. You're not a fan of it. You're not a fan of what they're doing.
Okay, I should pull that back. I'm still a fan of it. I think I'm the thing I can't lie about is I'm enjoying the fact of watching it with my parents. Like Wayne played it
Yeah.
too, so when I've been watching it with my mom and Wayne, and so it's
Mhm.
fun watching it with my mom because she'll go, "Did that happen in the game?" And we'll go,
Yeah.
"Yeah" or "No" or whatever, and
Yeah.
then my dad will be there too, and he'll answer some of the questions. So I mean, I've liked the fact that my whole family is in on it. That's definitely been the coolest part for
Yeah.
me. But other than that, I
Mhm.
mean, I just you know me, man. I'm the guy who loves the action, the gore, the violence. That's the whole reason I
Yeah.
fell in love with The Last of Us was because that game was about some gore and some scary ass shit. I feel
Mhm.
like personally, I feel like we're not seeing enough infected in the game or in the TV show for it
Mhm.
to, be the thing. I personally on that sixth episode, here's where I wanted to talk to was on the sixth episode, they start the episode
Yeah.
off
We can
with
keep going with it.
they started that episode with them in that cabin, and the people in the cabin are like, "Yeah, that road that y'all are about to take, don't go there. It's dangerous as fuck. There's all kinds of infected, all kinds of crazy people. Don't go that way." They go that way.
Mhm.
They don't see a goddamn thing, and that's what pisses me off. Is like you're gonna try to
Whoa. Whoa.
build.
Whoa. Okay.
So maybe I
I
missed.
think you missed the part. I think you missed the part of that couple. They're there. They're there to essentially, like, I'm pretty sure they're good with that community. So they're
Huh?
there to scare wanderers who come. They're like, don't go that way. It's bad. You don't want to go over there. Blah 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 blah.
Then they're
I
doing a shitty
guarantee
job of
you,
it. They're doing a shitty job
those
of it. Then
people.
either way,
No,
they made
no,
it sound like you're gonna go this way and you're gonna get fucked up. That's what it sounded like to me. So when they walked that whole path,
because they're trying to scare them
is that what
from
their goal
going
was?
over there. They're trying to scare. They don't want new people in the community. So they're
Yeah,
trying
but
to
how are
scare
they
them.
part of the community if they're over there? The people literally said, "Yeah, we've been here. We've been here ever since. This is where we've wanted to live." They weren't part
Yeah.
of. They
No,
were not part of Jackson. I don't think they were. I think they were just an old couple living there.
I honestly did take that as I took that as they knew that community and they're good with that community
Okay,
because
well here's where
because
Jorian
hey,
comes in again. That part to me,
well
it all doesn't matter at all because based on the fucking video game, here's what happens. They go down that path, they meet up with their brother, and then raiders come and take over the power plant that they find. They skip past that
yeah
in the TV show, cool, whatever. But then here's what kind of gripes me a little bit is that they brought Jackson into the picture, which that doesn't come until the next game or at least till the
hmm
end of this one. I don't think they never said anything about Jackson in the first game. They never said, "Hey, actually,
yeah
we have a community." They made it seem like they were all living there at the power plant. So the TV show has just taken these liberties of just like melding the two games because I guarantee you, I really think here's what's going to happen. This is George's prediction. I think they're going to go through because now they're at the part where Joel and Ellie are on their way to the hospital.
hmm
So after the whole Ellie episode, that'll be next. That's the whole Left Behind episode. You know what goes on there. After that episode, they'll finally do the last episode, and Joel and them are just going to come back to Jackson. So I think that's why they set that up to so that way when the next season comes, they can just easily roll into season 2 or episode 2 or whatever, however you want to call it.
yeah
I think that's the only reason that they added Jackson in so quick. It's just an easier role as to like what's happening. But then
yeah
again, they also added that episode in to really build on trust. The whole episode is an episode
uh-huh.
about trust because the brother hasn't messaged him because he can't trust his brother anymore, and his brother has lost his own. God damn it! What's his
No,
brother's name?
it's not no
Tommy.
it's not it's no Tommy no he didn't. It's not that he didn't message him because he
It's
can't
not.
trust his
He didn't
brother.
message him
It's because
because
he's with the
the
community.
community didn't want him to, and I
The
get that.
community doesn't want to do that.
The community didn't want that, but that in and of itself, Charles, you have a brother, you have a sister. If you were in a
hmm
community that was way better or whatever, you would motherfucking find a way to get your family there. And that's Joel's part. Joel is about family. And I think that's
Mhm.
why he's so entangled with the girl, is because he doesn't want to admit it, but he does feel that family kin vibe or whatever, you know?
Of course.
Anyway,
That's
I
the
just
whole part
really
of that
feel
video
like
game of them building that relationship at that point.
they need to be fighting more people. I just feel like they shouldn't have gone with the route of Joel being this old dude. And I have to take something back, because I remember at the first episode, I was like, oh, they're showing Joel being old or whatever, so they're probably already filming the second season where they kill him off or whatever. But no, they were just making him older. I didn't realize that, because in the game he does not look that old.
Okay. One thing real fast. Let's chill on the spoilers. Let's not bring it
What
up
did I
because there's so
spoil?
many. You just said some crazy shit, so don't.
I said the whole
Let's not.
plot. Oh,
Let's
okay.
not.
My bad. My
No.
bad. You haven't played the game that's been out for 4 or 5 years now. My bad, you guys. I'm sorry. You came to the podcast
Hey,
where we talk about this shit.
hey. Okay. For one, you're pretty sure if you want to get newcomers, you have to take into consideration that not everybody has played the shit we
Sorry.
played or listened to what we played. So we just gotta let's cool on that a little bit.
My bad,
But
man. My bad,
no,
man.
you're good. You're good. You're good. Hey, we're learning.
This is a
Um,
heated topic for me, man. I just get mad. I don't want to talk about it.
No, I feel you. I mean, I think it's going to be awesome. I think like we're going to have listeners who 100% agree with you and they're on your side. Because as fans of the game, I will tell you too. There's not a lot of action in this for a game that is so action heavy. And I'm not just talking about I need to see infected everywhere, but as you said, like even the humans, like there's not a lot of humans in the tunnels. There should have at least been something. Like let's be real. There there should have been
It was
something,
too empty. It
but
was too perfect.
like what Henry said, Henry was like, he was like, oh, my buddy from Fedra said they cleared those tunnels out 3 years ago. And even Joel's like 3 fucking years ago, like, and you don't think there's nothing down there? So for sure there should have been something down there. And like what even you said, maybe there was a human down there maybe. That
Even
you
if it was
had to
just some
fight.
dude who was just down there living his best life, there could have been some dude down there.
Because in the video game, even that part, when they're in the tunnels, that's a crazy part in the video game. I don't want to say crazy, but it's a hard fucking
It's a scary
section of
part.
the game.
It's a scary
It's a
part.
scary and unnerving section of the video game. And the thing is, like, I understand they have budget constraints. I'm like, at the end of the day, it's a business, right? So they probably said, yeah, The Last of Us is a super successful IP, but hey, we might not be able to give you the budget you want, so you need to limit your action that you want to do in the video in the show. But I'm like, so I understand that, but the amount of action that isn't like even I watched the show with my mom last night, and she was like, "Yeah, there wasn't a lot of action in this episode, but she was like, it was good. She was like, it was good. There's not a lot of
Hmm.
action." But I told her with the previews for next episode, Left Behind, I was like, "That's going to be a really good episode. You're going to get action in that episode for sure."
And
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 I was
and you
like,
know what's funny with
so,
your budget cut theory there is, I feel like that's also why they're not kind of bar for barring it, because Joel
mhm,
technically falls like 4 stories and then lands on that spike.
yeah,
He doesn't have some dude hit him with a
yeah,
baseball bat.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I didn't. That's
And
parts I
that
didn't
would have been
like.
more
That was
badass.
shit I didn't like.
That would have been more badass. Yeah, that would have been
Mhm.
more badass. And even with the Joel thing too, that happens at the end of the episode where he gets stabbed. It's like, well, how did the bat break? Like
Yeah.
what? Like
No, I think
huh?
I think it breaks like the first swing that the guy uses it, but it just
Yeah.
is like it was just cheesy to me, dude. It was just such a cheesy fight.
That should have been like that fight didn't warrant the way that happened. I feel
Dude,
like
not only
I
that,
don't.
but the dudes were walking like this, 2 and 2, just like this,
Yeah,
walking down,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden they're just fighting one dude, and now the other 3
yeah.
are
I don't know.
all of a sudden around the building. Like the
Yeah,
cuts there were just not
yeah.
making sense in my
That
brain.
that 100%. And that fight, like I said, that I don't feel like that payoff was really like the whole turnaround and surprise. Like, oh god, I was stabbed. I
Mhm.
don't feel like it warranted. Something like that needs to be more drawn out. I feel like the whole fight happened in fucking what 10 seconds. Like it wasn't the whole, oh, I've been stabbed. And because if it's so short like that, I wish we would have saw it. Like I wish we would have just saw him getting stabbed. I didn't
Mhm.
need the whole surprise gimmicky thing of him being stabbed. But I mean, that's nitpicking. It's very nitpicky, but at the end of the day, like you said, them making Joel soft and shit. Like, look, I understand we're adapting it to television. It's not a video game, so you need to do things different. But that right there, I think it would have been way cooler if he fell and landed on the bar. That
I
would have
think
been
so. I
way
think they should
cooler.
have kept that 2 and 2. It's very
Yeah.
interesting how the dialogue on the game is what they're like ripping straight from the game, but the
Hmm.
action and what's happening they're just making up as it goes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the little brother being deaf, like that wasn't in the game, but it was a cool addition because it makes the older brother
Yeah.
more like necessary for the younger brother, like
He's
more of
more
a
dependent. Yeah. More
exactly.
dependent on him. Yeah.
That's the
I
word.
did like that. I wasn't mad at that at all. Um, the
And that
bloater
actor's
was
actually
cool.
very deaf. That actor's deaf too.
Yeah. He said that. I was very nice. Yeah, no, he's a cool kid. He's a cool kid. And they said Henry like had no idea how to do sign language, and he learned it within a couple of weeks. He
They
said
said
he learned
everybody
that
on the
shit.
set learned.
Yeah, learned
They
it.
said
So
everybody
I
learned a
thought that
little
was
bit.
really cool.
I know how to say nigger.
And what?
Yeah, that's how you say nigger in sign
What?
language. Yeah, I think it's like that.
No way.
That's
Why
what
is
I
that?
remember.
Why is that so simple?
I don't
Like I
know.
feel like it
I
should be
don't
harder. I
remember.
feel like it
I
should be
learned that on
harder
my
to say
mission,
that.
so I shouldn't know that, but I learned
No,
that
but
from a white
Mormons
kid.
teach you how to say nigger.
And that's the only one I remember. Oh, actually, elder. Elder. Nigger.
Oh my, what is wrong with you? Okay. Next. Okay, one quick though, real quick. Okay,
Ant-Man
so they
and
showed
the
the bloater.
Wasp.
Hey, no, fuck that. They showed the bloater, but I wanted to, in the video game, does the bloater spew shit
Yes.
or no?
Do you know
Or am
what
I
they
okay?
did?
He
You
does.
know how they fucked up? They fucked up that entire game by taking away the spores. They fucked up the whole show by taking away the spores because you know what the bloater
Uh huh.
does? The bloater rips off spores from itself and throws them like a fucking grenade.
Oh,
Yeah, you remember in the high school when
Yeah,
you're getting those things, you're shooting at him, you're plinking at him from a distance, and he throws one of those,
yeah,
and then you run out of it, and then he's right there and he just breaks your face in. I will give them
yeah.
that. They did take a couple of the kills from the game and threw them in there. There were some pretty
No, it's
good
sick.
kills from the motherfucking zombies on that
The
scene. I will give you
the
that. The kid one I
that
didn't
whole
like. The
thing.
kid one was too suckerish. The kid one was
No,
just too much of like, ha ha, you get what you deserve.
no.
Yeah. I didn't like the kid
I
one.
that action scene was awesome. That action scene was fucking sick, dude.
And that's the only one I can
I
think of.
really liked it. I really liked it. It was really cool. That action scene was something else. And the bloater. So the only thing that was missing for me with the bloater was that I was like, doesn't this dude like spew something? Like he does something else than just be big.
And it's
You know what
scary
I'm
as
saying?
fuck because he's walking at you and he'll rip the
Yeah,
thing off of his chest and just hurl the bitch
yeah.
at you. And then it makes a
Nah,
fat ass cloud of spores. And if you're in that thing for too long, you can die from that. It
yeah.
makes the combat fighting that thing way more tougher. But they just said, no, we just got a Hulk guy now. That's what they turned him
He
into.
should yeah, no, he should have done something else. That would have been really cool to see. I think it goes back to the budget thing. They're like, all right, well, we would need to do CGI for that and
They
blah
just
blah
didn't
blah.
want to put
But I'm
niggas in
like, dude,
masks.
it makes it cool though. I'm like, that shit makes it cool. But nonetheless, the bloater was cool. Like, I'm
The
not
bloater was
saying
cool. He looked like he was straight from
I'm
the game.
yeah,
They,
he
they're
did.
doing
He
their
did.
part of like really their budget is definitely going to their visuals or something like
For
that.
sure.
It looks
Yeah, for
good.
sure. For
It
sure.
looks like
Yeah,
a
it
good
looks
show.
really
It's just they made our main character a pussy.
yeah.
They've just neutered the violence of the game. The game had so much violence that it's like you're supposed to question whether you're the good guy at the end of the game. That's really what you're supposed to question.
Yes.
And I
Okay.
feel
Oh
like
yes.
they're really not doing that. Even with the scene where he's like fighting the kid, it's like, yeah, they kind of gave you that where like, he's like gonna kill the kid or whatever, like, oh, that's a bad guy move. But even then, it's like there's not a lot of weight to that moment. It's just kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Well, thanks for covering me, Ellie. I got this.
You know, you're so what you just said right there, bro, is really interesting, right? Because I was just on Twitter a little bit before we hopped into this, and there was a guy on there talking about essentially the same thing you are, and he said one of my main complaints that I have about this show is, and we're not going to spoil anything for any of the listeners, but towards the end of there's a hospital scene that happens, and there's going to be some major consequences that happen in the last episode. There's going to be major consequences that happen in the last episode. what the guy on Twitter was saying, he was like, see, my thing is in the video game, Joel does a lot of fucked up shit to where it kind of warrants the decision that's made towards the end, and you're like, oh, that makes sense why he does that. In this show, we haven't really seen any of that, like what you were saying. You're saying exactly what the guy on Twitter said, where he's just like, hey, like there's not a lot of violence in this. You're not really seeing Joel really portrayed as a bad guy. So when the decisions that's supposed to be made are like, our audience is really going to be like, are you really going to resonate? Is it going to make sense? But then, and the guy said, he was like, well, we still have that one episode coming up, which maybe we see Joel go crazy, which would be sick to see, but I don't know because he just got beat up by one dude. So I don't know if you're going to be able to take on a whole gang of people.
I don't. Charles, I see that scene. I see that episode. Charles, I see that episode as him walking into the operation room and just walking out with no resistance. I feel like it's going to be a walk in, walk out situation on that episode. I don't think there's going to be resistance.
Now that we're talking about that, right? Just the whole violence aspect and how kind of weak Joel is, because now he's even more weak. Now he's even more weak. And I'm just like, in the video game, when I was spoiling things, but in some of the episodes that are coming up, I don't think it's the next one. It's going to be the one after that. It'll be episode 8.
It'll be the one after, because the next episode is the Left Behind.
Left Behind. So episode 8 is when some big shit's going to happen. And that's why I'm like, in the video game, it's just those two. So I think it's really just Ellie pretty much. I don't know. Point is, Joel has to do a lot of heavy lifting, but he can't even fight one guy. So I don't know how that's going to play out. But then again, we're not the writers of the show. Who fucking knows what they've done? We know how the game ends. We know how it plays out. Now we just got to see how they bring it to television.
Well, let's just wait for those last episodes to drop, and then we'll come through here and say that was some bullshit.
Yeah. There's only a few more left. I am excited. I don't want to say I'm excited to see how. I'm just more I'm interested to see how it plays out. I'm not really excited because I'm like, I feel like now shit's gonna be rushed. Now I feel like we're rushing this episode.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shit that needs to happen still, and I'm like, you're really gonna rush a lot of these big moments into like one episode. It's very interesting to me because unless Left Behind next episode is like 30 minutes, unless they make that 30 minutes and then they do another 30 of just Ellie, then I can see where they can kind of fit in the episode 8 part, and then you get the hospital. But then again, I don't know, man. I don't know. It seems like the last half of the season is going to be.
Well, you also realize we're skipping a major part is before the hospital. I wonder if they'll even include this part, but she's got to encounter that raper guy.
No, fool. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
What is that group even called? Did they ever give that group a name?
I don't know. I don't want to say what they are just for people who don't know.
Cause see, I thought that group in the game was part of whatever group you fight in that little town. I thought it was that same group. It's the same group in that one.
I believe they are too. Yeah, that whole town, they're all together.
Okay, cool.
They're all together.
So maybe they'll cut it like that. Maybe it'll be some old dude who knows. We'll see. We'll see though.
You can already see the guy. You watch the trailer, you can already see the guy.
Oh, they already clipped in that part? Oh, I didn't even watch the trailer.
Yeah, no, if you watch like the last of the trailer, you'll see the group.
Oh, okay, cool. So they got that.
He doesn't look like the main guy from the video game, but that's the guy. But anyway, yeah, there's only 3 episodes left, so.
Well, and they still got to fill in. And I'll guarantee you what's going to happen in this episode is that like a lot of the voice actors are still in the game. The dude who does Tommy, his brother, is actually the bad guy in the Kansas City. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's
the other day. So I'm assuming that the girl who does Ellie, her part will be in this next episode too. Because I haven't seen her part.
Should be. Yeah, Left Behind. Yeah, she should be in there.
All right, bros.
I'm assuming she's not doing too much, but let's hop
next
off
topic.
After this. You watched Ant-Man in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. What do you think?
Kang the Conqueror was a badass. Like that dude definitely held the show together. Like if it wasn't for that dude, I think it would have been a pretty lame ass show. That's all I got. That's really it.
You're like, that's all I got. That's all I got on that.
It was cool. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say I haven't seen it. I was gonna go watch it, but I'm kind of sick right now, and I was just like, that movie's not worth the drive from.
My ruling on this one is definitely wait for a Tuesday when your theater does the $5 Tuesdays.
And just go watch it.
And go do it that day. Don't pay full price for it. Is definitely my recommendation. Other than that, I mean, it's a straightforward movie. It's one of those. It's kind of a spoiler, but it's not. But the movie ends and begins in the same place. It's
okay.
I don't know. It does stuff for it. It builds up the next stuff, but at the same time, you're not missing much if you don't watch it.
Yeah, it's only really building up Kang, huh?
It's really only building up Kang, and at that rate, personally, I would rather watch the Kang from the Loki show, because this Kang is tough. This Kang is tough. I will give you that. But here's where my thing comes in on these video game, TV show adaptations, movie, whatever, is the power threshold. Like this dude starts off just fucking ready to rip and fucking tear. Towards the end of the episode, it's like, where did your power go, sir? You were the fucking king of this whole place, and now you're baby boo? What's going on? Oh, it's because your armor's broken, which they don't ever explain. That's just supposed to be one of the things you fill in. Sorry to spoil that, but it's definitely just like fine. One of my big gripes with these action hero movies is that, like, can I what?
You can spoil, because I know I've seen spoilers of spoilers. Oh. And we tend to spoil. Whenever we go into movie reviews, we tend to spoil. So if you want to spoil something, go ahead.
I mean, all I really have to say on that one is just I wish characters could consistently have the same power that they start with. Low-key, if Ant-Man would have died in this shit, that would have been hard as fuck. That would have been cool. Right at the end, Ant-Man dies, the rest of them get out of the multiverse or whatever, and then Kang's just still sitting there like, oh, get out of here! Or some shit. That would have been so hard. Wow, that would have been cool. Yeah, that'd be badass. Here's how, you know what? The movie ends. I'm going to spoil it for you, Chuck. The movie ends by them throwing the dude into a different portal. That the nigga already got out of. We literally watched our one dude get out of it earlier, so how could Kang not get out of it? I guess he doesn't have the same shrink abilities or whatever, but it's just like, we're talking about Kang the motherfucking Conqueror. The nigga who's supposed to be able to travel through time. He's supposed to be more stronger than Thanos, is what this nigga's supposed to be. So it's like, I don't know. And also, I just want to see death and carnage in that franchise. I feel like we don't get enough of it, and I feel like these heroes are just some bitches too. I feel like the power struggle, like, it must just be so hard to be like the dudes directing these things, knowing like, okay, this character. I watched a thing just the other day on the X-Men. There's this one character in that X-Men First Class. His ability is to adapt to things. So he can literally change his body, his molecular structure, whatever it is. He can change anything to fit the situation. If he needs to breathe underwater, if he needs to survive a fire, he can do anything possible. And in the TV show, or in the movie, they feed him like some sort of power energy ball, which in the comic books, he would have been able to just adapt and eat that shit, right? But they killed the character off in that show, and I don't remember what the character's name was. But all that I'm trying to get at is when it comes to these TV shows and movies and stuff, they really just dumb down the power level on these characters, and it makes me wonder: is this like, are we supposed to care about power level, or are we just supposed to be watching the story?
Yeah,
because it's just I don't know.
No, I hear you. And I heard that some people are having this thing to where this King has said that he beat the Avengers, but you lost to Ant-Man and his daughter. So it's like, everybody's like, they're like, we're supposed to be scared of King, like, moving forward. Like, you lost to Ant-Man and his daughter, but apparently you killed the Avengers. And some people are saying, well, I guess he didn't have all his technology or blah, 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 blah. But it's like, that still makes no fucking sense, because I haven't seen the movie. I've seen all the spoilers on it. I've heard people talk about it. And people are saying, okay, well, it kind of came down to a fist fight between him and Ant-Man at one point. And it's just like, you lost to Ant-Man.
They fist fight, and he luckily throws him into the portal at the last second.
Yeah. That's where it's like, the whole happy ending bullshit. And I really like your idea of it. Like, dude, if Ant Man died and he's in there and he's like, I'm gonna fucking get out. Like, but that is how you set up a villain.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you set up a fucking villain.
And then
This
and then
movie,
in the next
Thanos came
movie
in and
somehow they
killed.
figure out how to bring
Yeah,
Ant-Man back to life or whatever.
yeah.
That's
Do whatever
comic
you
book
need to do.
shit.
They wouldn't even need to bring Ant Man back to life because you already have the Wasp and you have the fucking daughter. And you have Hank Pym still. So it's like, if you want to get rid of him, just get rid of him. You already have fucking 3 Ant-Man. So it's like, do you really, like, he's expendable because you have other characters who can do it. And this, I'm going to talk about, because I finally watched Black Panther, Wakanda Forever
I hate
yesterday.
hearing that. I hate every time I hear that. I think it's like nails on a chalkboard for me. That Black
Yeah.
Panther. I don't want to talk about that.
I finally watched it yesterday, and I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. And but hear me out though. I didn't watch this movie in a movie theater. I didn't give it my full undivided attention. I was literally cooking while this movie was playing. So
just some background
I
noise
was
kind of
like,
thing.
when there was like parts, like I know with Namor, there was a part where like they were showing his mom's introduction and how he became, and I missed it. So I was like, all right, let me pause it, rewind, and actually pay attention to this part. So it was like a thing like that, right? And then towards the end, obviously, I was paying attention. One thing that Namor was badass. I like Namor. Namor was sick.
He was cool as fuck.
He's
a good villain.
And he was a good villain. And I like the fact that he didn't give a fuck. He told them,
Yes.
he told the queen, he was like, dude, if you come into my place, I will fucking kill you and your daughter. Like, I will do it. And she tried it. She tried it. And Namor was like, all right, I will see you. I will see you. And he came back and fucking killed her. He would have killed the little girl too if she didn't try to save her. But I'm like, he's a fucking badass. That's a fucking villain right there. That's what villains should do. When they say something, they should fucking do it. And that's what I really liked about him. But
yeah,
I want to talk about real quick with the I can't think of the Girl Warriors when we got Iron Man suits now. So what? They're flying. Everybody's got an eye. So what? All the whole Wakanda
that's one of those
army
comic book things that they just had to add. That's what that was.
But my thing is, why do they look so fucking ugly? Why are they blue? Like
They're like something. They're called like archangels
red.
or something. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, man. That, like I said, that's one of those. Oh, it was in the comic book. We have to have it.
It was gross to me. It reminded me of like a Predator suit. I was like, this is nasty. Like, why do they look like that? Why are they in this? I also don't like when Shuri was talking to fucking Namor, and she was like, if you don't yield, she was like, all your people are gonna die. They're fucking 10 times stronger than you guys. I'm not sure if you know this, but when you came over, they were about to push you motherfuckers off that boat. So that whole thing was stupid to me too, because it's like, how are you gonna like try to say some shit? We're gonna kill all your people when they could, like, they were literally gonna kill all your people right now. Like, they don't even need no more to fuck you up. They need you because you're the only person in Wakanda who has special powers. Everybody else just fights. You're the only person in Wakanda with special powers because you took the herb. Namor, all those motherfuckers are mutants. They all have fucking vibranium inside their bodies. So I'm just like, Black Panther, I didn't think it was a terrible movie. I thought there was very stupid things in it. And I think just the MCU as a whole, like, bro, Black Panther came out in what? Fucking November? It's February 20. I saw that movie February 21st. The movie came out in November, bro. And it's like, Ant-Man, I don't know when I'm going to see Ant-Man. It's probably going to be a Disney Plus thing because now I drive semi-trucks up.
Yeah.
So me, time is very valuable. So
that's a good point. Wait till that.
Theater, you know what I'm saying? My time is very valuable now. So, like, if I'm going to go to the movie theater, bro, it better be for a good fucking movie. With this Ant-Man shit, the MCU fatigue is here, bro. It's here. And it's
you know what's funny, though?
Dude,
here's what makes it really interesting.
what?
Is imagine what we were actually supposed to get was Ms. Marvel. That's the movie that was supposed to drop right now, but they keep pushing it back.
Yeah.
So think about that.
They pushed that shit back all the way to like November 10th. I'll definitely check out Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That's gonna be a banger. I'm pretty sure they made it sound. My little review channels, they said that Rocket and the buff dude are supposed to die in that one.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the spoiler. They
Bautista.
said that like you can tell because of the colors that they use
Hmm.
for the title. Each color
Yeah.
has been like reflecting of the person who dies in that episode. So the last one it was
Uh-huh.
Yondu, and I think the one before it was somebody else, but or it
Yep.
was
Yeah.
Groot.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Groot in the one before.
Yeah.
So this one is they've had two different title colors, and one of them has been your boy. I can't remember the tough guy. Fuck, what is his goddamn name? Who's his?
I only know like his actual name, Dave Bautista. I can't think of his.
Yeah, what's the fucking guy's
Name.
name? Oh,
It
this
is
is
what it is. We
bad.
move
Dude, this is
and we move.
bad. We're bad at this. So that dude's supposed to die and Rocket is supposed to die because they've had those two
Rocket.
colors, which is interesting.
What's his
Um,
name?
and the funny part is, I'm really excited for this one because they're doing the Rocket backstory, and that's supposed to be really
Yeah,
good.
that'd be cool. Yeah,
I'm really
that's gonna
excited
be
for
really
that.
cool to see. That's gonna show like a whole new side to him, because
Hmm.
you see parts of it, but you know obviously they don't explore it, so it's gonna be interesting to see them explore it.
I'm very excited to
Um,
see it.
but yeah,
I
I
know
mean this
they.
is a
I'm
lot.
pretty sure that's the one they covered in the Telltale game, right? Didn't you play their Telltale one?
I didn't finish it. I didn't finish it not because
Mm.
I didn't want to, just because I didn't buy the other episodes. Because
Ah,
actually, I don't think you can buy it. Like I think I got the first episode for free or something, but I don't think you can buy it. I tried to buy it. I
hmm,
can't find it.
that's
Yeah,
weird of
so
them.
yeah, I did a thing on that, but
It's probably
um,
because the other Guardians of the Galaxy game came out and they're like, "Whoa, we don't want to get fuck around."
yeah, that could be a thing. Um, but yeah, Guardians of the
Speaking of
Galaxy
which, I
3, I'll
want my
definitely
time
check
back
out.
from that game. That shit was so fucking long.
Which one?
The
Oh,
Guardians of the Galaxy
dude,
game. That game
all
was
the
so
walking,
fucking long.
all
All
the
the
walking you
walking.
had to do.
Not
Oh
only
my
that, but then there's
god.
that like fake ending where like you keep doing the same thing over and over again and you think that's how you
Yeah,
beat the game, but it's not. That shit was
yeah.
stupid, man.
Was that the part at the house when you're
It's
at the
like
house or something?
there's like two parts.
That
There's like the
happens,
part
huh?
where you're fighting the Black Adam dude or no, that's not the fucking guy's name. God damn it. You're fighting the one dude in like the little chaos realm or whatever. You're fighting
Yeah,
him
yeah.
and then you think you beat him and then the credits come up and then it brings you to the house part and then you do that
Oh
part
yeah, the
all
house
over
part.
again.
Yeah, you gotta do the house
Yeah.
part. Yeah, that shit. Yeah, no, that game, bro, was so unnecessarily long.
Oh my god.
It
And
was
I felt like I did
ridiculous.
everything I could to explore and pick up all the little bits or whatever, and I feel like I
Yeah,
still missed every fucking thing, dude.
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
I missed
That,
everything.
yeah. I
God.
felt I the thing I will like that game. It was a cool video game. Like I enjoyed it. Like a video. It was a very video game. I liked it, but it was just a lot of those low moments to where you're walking around and I'm like, bro, just let me fucking run, dude. Like this
Ugh.
is so stupid. But
No, it was too
yeah,
much.
um, but yeah. So MCU fatigue is here, though, bro.
Oh,
MCU fatigue is
definitely.
here. I, you know, the writers of Avengers: Secret Wars and King Dynasty are the writers of Doctor Strange, Madness, Into the Madness, and Ant-Man: Quantumania. Those two writers are writing King Dynasty and Secret Wars. So yeah, so we're in for a treat. We're in for a treat with those Avengers movies. And
Are you
Marvel,
serious?
man, I swear to God, yeah, those are the writers of the fucking movies, dude. Swear to God, swear to you,
I'm
Marvel needs
sorry,
to
but
do.
to me, the Doctor Strange is a Multiverse of Madness was the biggest letdown from the Marvel Cinematic
Yeah,
Universe. When they first
that was,
announced that shit, when they first announced it, they were like, "This is gonna be the scariest movie we've ever made," and I'm like, "Let's fucking go!" That was
yeah,
not the scariest movie they've ever made. That was
no, that
garbage.
movie, that movie was a fucking mixed bag. It was just
Oh,
it was kind of like, what am
I
I
can't even think of
watching?
one part of
At
that
the
movie
time?
where I could say, "Yeah, I like that part." There's not one.
I
I could tell you, I think it's funny the hand joke because of the dude punched himself over and over. That was funny,
yeah.
but it was
Oh my god,
predictable.
I thought that shit was. I was like, this is retarded.
Even
Um,
yeah,
the only part out of that movie that I even liked was when they were jumping through the fucking multiverses, and
and
that
even
was
that
like
part
what
I thought
like
was lame
like
as
what,
shit.
15 seconds. It was like 15, 30 seconds, and you jump through everything, and that's that. And like yeah, I think of something like Everything Everywhere All at Once, and when they're doing the multiverse shit, and you see the lady's face just switching, I was like, dude, oh my god, this movie's incredible, dude. What the fuck? How does that movie do a better multiverse thing than a comic book. Like, come on, bro.
bro.
But yeah,
So you
anyway.
telling me that guy is writing the Secret Wars, wherein the Secret Wars is already
Yes,
pretty weird
yeah.
as it is. Secret
Yeah.
Wars is them on like a whole. Oh wait, no. What am I thinking of?
Secret Wars is the fucking that's the Avengers movie of all Avengers movies. That's what Secret Wars is.
You know
So
what
I'm
I
like,
think I was thinking of? I can't remember which one it is, but they go to a planet and like the planet is
mhm,
made of different planets and it's got all the
mhm.
villains and the heroes on the same planet and they're always fighting, but I can't remember what that one was called.
That's
But
Battle World. That's
Battle
Battle World.
World. See, that's what
Yeah,
I was
it's
thinking
Battle
this
World.
was the whole time.
Yeah,
But Secret Wars is the one where they're like fighting each other kind of shit, huh? Is
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of like Civil War in a way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Doctor Doom is the head of it. So we'll
Oh
see. They still
shit.
got a lot to do. I think
You said Doctor
I don't.
Doom?
Yeah,
About fucking time we bring
yeah.
that man
Doctor Doom.
around. But
Um,
I'm fucking fatigued
I
from it all anyway.
I'm fatigued. I don't think the MCU is gonna get good honestly until I don't
I
think
don't think those movies
until
are gonna be
Spider
good.
Man 4. I think Spider Man 4. I think Spider Man 4 is gonna be a sick ass fucking movie. I think
Yeah,
that's
because you know
gonna be
why? Because it's not made by Marvel, it's
because
made by
that's
Sony.
no Marvel still has their hands all
They have
over
their
it.
hand in it. They got the
No, that
little
is still
they got the
Marvel's
little can
movie.
I stir the pot? No, I'm making
Marvel's
the
movie.
movie. I'll stir.
Yeah,
Go get the chocolate
yeah,
chips. That's
uh-huh.
that's how that shit's going.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Sony's down
Marvel
there cooking it
does
up.
it. They just have the character. Marvel is doing everything with Spider Man. But
Nah.
Spider Man 4 is going to be a badass movie because it's actual Spider Man now. He's broke. Nobody knows his name.
And you know
All his
why? Is
family's
because it's
dead.
gonna be a street level. If it's a street
Yes,
level movie, then yes, everyone would fucking shit their pants because that's what we need. We're sick of the multiverse. We're
yeah.
sick of the outer space. You know what's
Maybe,
funny? You know what's
maybe,
funny? One of the reviews I watched, it was this British dude who's hella harsh on movies. He goes, that might as well have just been a different planet because you still got regular humanoids. You still got people that are communicating. You still got civilizations. It doesn't seem like a shrunken universe. It just seems like a different fucking planet.
yeah. And I would say that's like even with the whole Ant Man thing. And this I haven't seen the movie, but it's like the Ant Man stories were so cool because it was an ex-con just trying to get his shit together in San Francisco. Like, I think that's what made those movies like kind of cute and cool because
No,
they
the
were
second one
smart
was good.
stories.
The second one is
Yeah,
definitely
you
good.
know,
The first one is good because it's a heist movie. Everybody loves a
yeah,
heist movie.
you know what I'm saying. But it's like when you go to Quantumania and you take an ex-con type guy and just put him into all this shit, I'm like, bro, that's not Ant Man though. That's not what made his movie special. And I
Look,
know
man,
the director Peyton Reed was like, we want this movie to be an Avengers type film. We want it to be a big film. Ant Man's never gotten that. Ant Man was never supposed to be that type of character. You know what I'm saying? So
no,
there's
he
no
didn't need
reason
an
for him to
Avengers
be
type thing.
Avengers
The
level.
funny part
Yeah,
about that movie
no,
to me is he's got his daughter who's like griping at him the whole time about not being a good superhero, but it's like, bitch, I just saved the fucking universe. You're a 13-year-old
yeah,
old girl. Shut the hell up. Like
yeah.
that's what was going
So
on a lot in that movie.
yeah. Let's relax on that.
Let's
But
what?
yeah, I'll just MCU fatigue is here, man, and I don't think I really don't think it's gonna get good until the X Men show up. But I can keep saying all that I want, but it's like all these movies have been letting me down. I did not like Phase Four. Phase Four was fucking garbage. It was trash. When you compare it to what we've gotten, Phase Four was dog shit. Um,
Let me tell
and
you,
I mean
WandaVision
I
was
think
the
they're trying to
shittiest
correct
show.
it, huh?
I said WandaVision was the worst. Keep going.
WandaVision was literally the best Disney Plus show, so let's relax on that. But all I'm trying to say is here is I personally feel like that whatever the sauce they had is gone, and I don't think it's going to be brought back until the X Men show up. I guess that starts with Fantastic Four. I mean, it really started with Namor since he's the first mutant. But once Fantastic Four comes in, I believe that's when you should get Doctor Doom introduced. Then you got Deadpool and Logan. I mean, he's only going to be there for the Deadpool movie, but still, that's going to introduce more mutants into the universe. So the X Men shit is coming. It's the mutants are coming, and I think once that happens, MCU will have a fucking big resurgence again. But as for right now, I'm not interested, bro. I'm not interested until the X Men really start coming in. Because right now, all these characters fucking lame. They're lame. They don't know how to make these movies no more. I feel like they're waiting to revolve everything around X. So right now, I feel like they're just biding time until Fantastic Four comes in, till X Men come in, till Logan comes in. I feel like they're just waiting because at this point, all these movies are trash, bro. They're all garbage. But the X Men, they can save it. The X Men can save the MCU, but it's gonna take a while. That's my
It's a
thoughts
bold
on it.
claim. It's a really bold
Yeah,
claim.
that's my thoughts.
I don't
That's my
agree.
thoughts. I think X Men will save it. You
I
don't
think it's
agree?
dumb. I think it's done.
You
I
think it's
think
done?
you just told me that they've got the same fucking writers making the same shit. Or making
Yeah,
the next big movie.
yeah, yeah.
I just I think you're right, dude. I think the fatigue has got me, man. I'm over it. I don't want to watch these shits anymore, man.
The way the excitement that we used to have with going to see a Marvel movie was like insane. Like and I
You know
know a lot of
why?
people.
Is because they were rare as fuck. The movies used to come out once a year, and it was around May time. You remember
We
that?
got yeah
You
we
got
got we
one.
got
You got 1 to maybe 2 movies a year.
two.
Actually,
We pretty much
I
got
remember
three. I think
when the first Spider-Man came out, the Hulk movie came out somewhere close to it.
yeah.
But even then,
For
it was
for
like,
for
go
for a
ahead.
long time they were releasing two at a time, and then it
Uh-huh.
started to move to three. But that wasn't until like once Infinity War and that all that shit started ramping up. But yeah, for the most part, the quality was there. The quality was there instead of the quantity.
Well,
Now
let's
that
also
Disney
ask
Plus
this
got
question
involved,
then, because
hmm,
I feel like Disney didn't get involved until at least after or halfway through the Infinity Wars, right? Or when did Disney buy them?
Disney's always had them.
Yeah, but was
Disney's
Disney the
always
one
had them.
always making the movies?
Yeah,
No way.
Disney.
I feel like
Yeah,
that just recently happened.
no, Disney just bought Fox like in 2019 or 2020. They
Okay,
bought X Men
so
in like
so
2020.
then before that, that's about the time I feel like it definitely went downhill because before that, when Marvel was in charge of itself and they were dropping their movies once or twice a year, I feel like that was a big difference, and I feel like that was a lot of excitement. For me, it was huge because they would always drop one right around my birthday, so it was like, "Fuck yeah, for my birthday, we're gonna go see
Mm,
the movie and then go do whatever." So I feel like
yeah,
now it's like I've already seen one movie this year, the Ant-Man, and then um Guardians of the Galaxy is supposed to come out the day after my birthday. So it's like that's already
yeah,
2 plus everything that they're going to drop on Disney Plus, plus
yeah,
whatever else is coming out. It's just like it's
yeah.
definitely too much.
Kevin Feige came out not to I think last week. Last week he came out and he was talking to some publisher, and he was telling them he was like, we are reevaluating our Disney Plus release schedules and our shows. He was like, we're not going to be putting out all these Disney Plus shows. He was like, we're going to be very selective on the shows that we do now. And he was like, you're not going to get 3 shows a year. You'll probably get 2, which is good. Two Marvel shows a year is solid. That's something that the normal general audience can handle. Fucking pumping out like 4 Marvel shows is not acceptable. Like it's not
I
fair.
just got hit
Like,
with the memory of Moon Knight.
dude, fuck Moon Knight.
I
Fucking
hated that
terrible
show,
TV show.
dude.
It's a terrible TV
Talk
show.
about
I
no
can't believe people.
action. Talk about no
I can't.
action.
I still can't believe there's people out there who like Moon Knight, bro. Like that show was fucking terrible. It was garbage. It was hot ass. It is the worst Marvel show in my opinion. It was fucking terrible. I would rather watch paint dry than watch fucking Moon Knight, bro. I hated that show.
No, Moon Knight was
And
bad. And
we,
you wanted to
I
root for the
remember,
dude. I wanted to root for the dude because
yeah,
I've always liked that actor, but this shit was
for
rough,
sure.
dude.
We watched the first episode together, man, and I just remember the cliffhanger. Like the whole he finally turns into Moon Knight and then he goes in the bathroom, beats up the thing, but you don't get to see it. You don't get to see it. That was like this that could have been the sickest fucking thing, but you don't get to see it. You don't get to you just get to hear it.
Yeah, I forgot
Whereas
about
Moon Knight
that.
is fucking garbage. Moon Knight is garbage.
I forgot about
Um
all that.
but all right, so moving on from Marvel, we're at an hour mark. I wanna talk about what I've been playing real quick and then we can head out.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Dude, Hogwarts Legacy, dude, I am obsessed with it. I'm
Okay.
obsessed with it. I fucking love this game. If you are a Harry Potter fan and you don't have this game, you are severely slacking. If you don't have the money for it, I understand it. I get it. And I hope you get the funds to eventually get the game. But the game's awesome, man. As a Harry Potter fan, it is so cool. There's so many. It's like you really are in the world. I haven't been in a video game in such a long time that fucking makes you feel like you are actually in the environment. Like
Mhm.
from the music to the sound effects to the Hogwarts castle itself, Hogsmeade to the broom, like everything is so well done. They the quality in this game is bar none, bro. It is fucking it's there. It's there, dude. You can wander the castle and just come across new shit that you haven't seen before. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like what is going on here? But it's just so cool. I'm geeking out over the game. I love it. I did encounter a game breaking bug last night, which definitely made me sad. I thought I was gonna have to restart my whole fucking game. I'm like, at this point, I'm probably about 19 to 20 hours into the video game, and I still feel like I have probably another 20 hours to go. Like it's a fucking big game. It's a big game. There's a lot to do. If you want to get lost in this world, you easily can get lost in it. And just have fun, man. It's a good game, and I'm
How
stoked,
do
man.
you
I'm on
feel
the road.
knowing that you're supporting anti-trans motives?
Oh my god, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. It's I think what's going on with what's happening with this game in Avalanche Studios is it's honestly it's fucked up. Like to me, I know what side you're on. Like it's all dumb. To
I
me,
could care
to
less.
me,
I think it's just funny.
yeah, to me, I think it's fucking ridiculous. Like there's reviewers out here giving it a fucking 1 out of 10 because of the trans shit, and it's just like the fact that people are like essentially attacking the studio and like saying like we don't think you guys should make money because the owner of Harry Potter made a comment about this, and I think that you guys don't deserve to be rewarded for your fucking 5 years of work. To me, that's like insane to me. Like you gotta like there's a group of people working on this video game, probably a group of like 50 to 100 people, and you guys are basically telling them fuck you, spit in your face because you're making a video game based on a property that the creator made. That's like saying if the creator of fucking George Lucas came out and said the same exact thing J.K. Rowling said, and then everybody was like, all right, we're boycotting every single thing of Star Wars. We're not going to go to Disney World. We're not going to buy the movies. We're not going to Star Wars Land. We're not buying Lego Star Wars. We're not blah, blah, blah. It's like, are you serious, bro? Like, just because the creator said it, like, I understand where you're coming from, but let's be real. You not buying this video game is not hurting her pockets, my nigga. You're not hurting her pockets. That's
Here's what
no.
my question is
She's set for life. She's good.
do you think you could still play that game if R. Kelly was behind it somehow?
What is wrong with you? Oh my god. Hey, and that's a good question. That's a good question because it raises that question, bro, to where it's like, can you really separate the artist from the
The art.
art? Can you separate the artist from the art? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people will sit here and tell you, nah, you can't. The R. Kelly shit, you can't separate it. Blah blah blah. It's wrong if you listen to his music. Blah blah blah, etc. Same thing with Kanye. Kanye's fucking annoying as shit. Blah 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 blah. But it's like
Speaking of
I
Kanye, where's
feel
he at? What's he
he's
been up
been
to?
quiet, bro. He's been quiet. I read something. I read something last night talking about
Is he just
Adidas.
broke?
Adidas. No, he's chilling. He's chilling. He's been quiet. He's been off the radar. But Adidas said that they're gonna lose about $1 billion due to them terminating Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a chance that Kanye might be coming back to Adidas just because
To help them sell those shoes.
they need him. They need him. As much as they people act like they don't want him, they need him. Also, Balenciaga's doing really bad right now, but they're doing bad because of a sexual like pedo lawsuit right now.
Yeah, they've been
So
on
it's
some weird shit.
yeah, not necessarily because of Kanye, but Adidas, yeah, they're kind of in the hole right now because of the whole Kanye.
I'm not gonna lie, that makes that comment of his, I can say anti-Semitic shit and Adidas will still have me. That shit is
Yeah,
so funny.
and Adidas ain't gonna do nothing. anti-Semitic shit, and what they gonna do? Oh my god, it's
They
just so
fired
crazy.
him, but they need him again. So it makes that whole comment really just
It's
full circle.
crazy. Like the fact that your company is gonna like lose $1 billion in sales because Kanye is not there no more because you're not selling Yeezys. I will also contribute it too. They said so Beyonce came out with her clothing line, Ivy Park. They said they thought her clothing line, bro, was gonna bring in $200 million. They said she did like 40 million. So I'm like, damn! I'm like, bro, you couldn't even. You're 150. You're $160 million off. That's crazy, bro.
Does
That's
Kanye
like
have a clothing
um,
line?
Yeezy, nigga.
I'm about to look
Goodness
that up. I feel
gracious,
like I want to wear some of his clothes now.
goodness.
I didn't know
Um,
that.
but
I'm not up to
yeah,
date with
so
these people.
this guy, but
They don't message me anymore.
The Kanye shit's interesting, and to be honest, I would bet money on him coming back to Adidas. I would bet money on it because you can't sell the shoe without them because they are his ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just say because I know they were trying to say that they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna continue to sell Yeezys just without the name, without the Yeezy name. But it's like you can't do that because those are his ideas. So you can't just sell his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Without the Yeezy name, that's crazy. But yeah, but that's that. But Hogwarts Legacy, bro, awesome game, awesome game. If you haven't played it, I think it's worth the money. If you are not a Harry Potter, if you're a listener right now and you're wondering if this game's for you, if you're not a Harry Potter fan, it's a good game, and I'll recommend it for sure. You
All
get
right,
lost
enough
in
Harry
that.
Potter sucking. Let's end this thing, man. You're going too much on that.
Shut up, shut up. The game's awesome. All right, man.
All
Well,
right, Thuggo. Well, I guess this has been Gaming Pop episode review. Deuces.
episode. Deuces, guys. Laters.
Bye.
Bye.